Alright guys, welcome back. So like you saw in the title, it's time to sell this old girl. So there's nothing wrong with me, nothing wrong with the truck. I just came to the realization that I don't have time to, restore it. So anyway, I did my part. I got it running, saved it from getting crushed or sitting on another farm for the next 30 years. But we're at the point now where, if I continue on it, it'll probably be another 20 years before I get this thing, to restore its shape. Now, it doesn't need much to get there, but, with my timeline, it's not going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list it on eBay. And hopefully it ends up back where it came from and back over in the UK, England, somewhere over there, and gets restored. Now, I'm not giving it away, but I do want, what's a fair price for it. But anyway, so yeah, that's the update with this. I kind of did shine it up a little, but the last video I had working on this is the last time I worked on it. I haven't done anything to it. So we're just going to start, because I guess I'll list this for the eBay video too. So anyway, this thing has 0 rot, 0 rust, nothing. The extent of the rust is, surface rust up here, but it's still solid. The only dings it has, it's got a dent right there, and it's got this crease right here, which you could probably fix pretty easy. Everything's there. The lights all work. The lights, I believe, are original. They're Lucas, both of them. The tires all hold air. It's got all 6 original wheels, all the lug nuts. I mean, everything is there. The mud flaps are behind the seat, which I don't think anyone's going to want them, but yeah, this thing has 0 rot. I don't remember the specifics because I've had a lot. Well, I've done a lot in the last few months since I started on it. So all the details are there if you look back. And the guys that have watched this from the start know. But this thing came from England to the port of Galveston, and it's been here ever since. Yeah, it even has the paint on the frame. Everything is original. It's almost like this thing went from the assembly line straight to the desert in New Mexico and sat. I mean, it's that clean. So anyway, let me go get a creeper. We'll go underneath and I'll show you the bottom of it. All right, so we're underneath it now. And like I was saying, this thing is perfect underneath. I'm trying to get you guys every angle of it. As I guess, I don't know who did that exhaust. Assuming it was done here. Yeah, it's got a little bit of seepage, but it's 19,000 miles and it's a 77 model. So you're gonna have that when everything's original. But yeah, the floors are perfect. The frame is perfect. I mean, from what I can tell, other than those 2 dents, this truck's a 10 out of 10. Yeah, the paint's not perfect, but you got to realize the age of this truck and the miles. It is a time capsule. I mean, the inner fender wells still have paint. It's not even sandblasted. Don't quote me. I think those shocks are original. Engine, transmission, they're all original. They run really well. You'll see that. That mess over there is from doing the oil change and then bleeding the pump. The stuff ran down the side of the diesel. It's no big deal. Let me try to get you guys over here. So yeah, I mean, it's all there. This frame, paint on it still. This truck is literally like I said, rolled off the assembly line and they put it out the pasture and let it sit there in the desert. Probably the cleanest Transit you'll ever find. So some of you guys that have followed along remember this. It's a fuel pump. I think it's either out of a 6.5 Chevy diesel or 24 valve Cummins, but it's low pressure. And all I did was plumb it into the factory line. Basically, it's just an overlay. All your factory stuff is there. The tank is clean. I just ran some red fuel in it. It looks purple here. Frame is good. Everything is here. It's like perfect. Now the wheels are... Not the wheels. Well, the wheels are all factory. Even that has a factory silver paint. They're not sandblasted like a million miles of use. These tires, I don't think they are the original, but they're pretty close to it. But they're from the 90s, 80s, 90s. They're old. Couple lights busted out. Everything's all here. The spare tire hanger's there. I don't know if this is factory wiring or not. Probably not. I mean, this truck is missing nothing. It just needs, the stuff that's aged and rotted replaced, which is mostly all your rubber and your plastic and your brake parts. Rear end doesn't leak, it's tight. I mean, I kind of hate to get rid of this truck, but, what am I going to do with it? I don't have time. See, that's just surface rust. Nothing terrible. Even the wood on the bed's not even rotted. So, yeah, that's really about all I can show you down here. Solid. It don't even have dirt or gravel up in there. I don't think this truck's ever seen a dirt road. Another shot of the tires. They all four match, I believe. So yeah, let's go on the inside and I'll show you around there. All right, so here's your interior. And again, it's original. This stuff didn't get torn up from where? It got torn up from sitting out in the desert. You see it just crumbles off. But it's all original, all factory. Every bit of glass is factory in this as far as I can tell. It all has a Ford emblem on it. It has that, everything. The windows roll up and down. That's why they're down. The door cards are original. Like I said, they're falling apart. But what do you expect from being that old? I threw everything else, spare stuff, in the back behind the seat. Floors are solid. There's your sticker and stuff. It says November 75. I don't remember what year this is. I could have swore it was a 77, but I don't remember. Another sticker. It was imported correctly into the US, and according to the DMV, that they can't, since it's already imported, if it stays here, they can't unimport it. So you're good there if it stays here. The headliner is probably the best part of this whole interior. Still has all the instructions on here. It's a 2.4 York. Missing the interior light. I think I have it in here, but no promises. You'll even get the vintage cigarette butts, radio delete. This is shined up pretty good. It's not all dinged up. I don't remember. I think it was 17 or 19,000. Or maybe that's a 12. I don't know. I know the reason it got parked was the clutch cable broke, to my knowledge. I put a new clutch cable in it. It goes through the gears fine, as you'll see here in a minute. The brakes don't work. And I got busy shortly after that and never messed with it. I stopped with that. Yeah, I do drive it around. I do use it. Glove box opens. I said that works. This, I'm told, some of you guys told me that you can pull this off and it'll be like I guess a stripped down edition. And that should be perfect underneath. I never got to it, but I do remember reading that. You'll get Charlie Brown. Again, factory Ford. It doesn't have any scratches, any imperfections at all in it. Very amazing. The gasket is drying out. I still need to put RTV. I never did that, but just to keep the moisture out of here. Speedometer doesn't work. This keeps coming unplugged under the hood, and these two don't work. I believe either the ignition switch is kind of like gummed up and not making contact, and it might work after a while. I never looked into it. It's mechanical. Once it's running, you use this to stop it. I broke that on accident, but it caught my hoodie pocket. But it didn't work to start with. All your switches and stuff, they're dry rotted, so they'll work a couple times, then they break. You can get every switch for this, for every single one that's plug and play, but I never did it. Never got this to work, never tried it. All the gears work, reverse is up and back, like pull it up. And yeah, so the glass is perfect. That's the interior. Oh, it never had mice in here. When we got it, there was no evidence of mice. They told me on that ranch they had tons of wild cats, barn cats, whatever, kept the mice down. Nothing out there had mice damage. And this is the same. As you can tell by the wiring, it's all original, all there. The only wiring that's not original is this, where they Texanized it for those. But I think it was either federal or state that you had to have them. Original floor. The floor is not even rotted down here. I mean, I'm trying to get you a good view. That stuff isn't rust. That's part of the floor stuff. It's just flaking apart, but solid floor. Couldn't find anything wrong with this. We'll go around the other side and show you. So yeah, see, you can even see bare metal. I think it's in another video somewhere. Even has the factory paint there. Here's more of it. 42.7 kilowatt at 3600. Kind of like a lawnmower. And there's all the stuff. The pads that go right here are right there. Floor solid, seats all there. Stuff in here you'll get. Really cool truck. Like I said, I hate to see it go, but I would really like to see it get restored and go to a good home. To me, that's more fun than it just sitting here rotting. So let's go under the hood. So here we have the 2.4 York diesel. I put some new fuel lines on it. Since I have the electric fuel pump, I bypassed this one and that one because the diaphragm went bad in here. And I just put the electric one on because it was easier. If this were to go bad again, I wouldn't have to wait a couple weeks to get one. That's the bleed screw, and that's what all that mess down there is from, bleeding it. Has a new timing belt, new idler, all that associated stuff. It's got a brand new water pump, new hoses. Like I said in the description, throttle cable's kind of goofy, but it works. I was experimenting with different master cylinders, trying to find one that I could get off the shelf here. This one's off of 68 or 69 Super Beetle that has a remote reservoir, and that's as far as I got. But a little modification, that one works because I couldn't find the Lockheed anywhere. And yeah, kind of seeps oil from the valve cover. I don't know about the blow-by, I never really checked it. It always starts, so I left it at that. I never wired in the switch or found the switch for the glow plug solenoid inside the cab. I always just cross out the two big terminals, count to 30, and normally it'll fire up. Indirect injection. I think the glow plugs kind of work. Still has factory writing on the valve cover. Stickers are still there. I do run it on one battery. Like I said, a little bit of seepage. Sometimes it'll drip coolant. I don't know where it comes from or why. It'll do it out of the blue, then it'll quit. I was going to put an electric fan in there just because I didn't want to, in case I broke the plastic fan again, I could actually get one. I never got to it. We can get all that. It still has all the paint under here. Like I say, you look back in the videos, you'll see everything I did to it. But, I mean, this is a very clean example. Hadn't been messed with. Everything's factory like the way it left. That's just something I got in an antique store and I threw it on here. This thing's always been here. And so, yeah, I guess now what's left is we'll go take it for a drive. So real quick, I just remembered something. If it goes overseas and it goes in a container or roll on, roll off, whatever, I can take the bed off if that's what involves in getting it shipped over somewhere. Not a big issue. Take off the bed, take off the stacks, unbolt these and put them in the cab, and I think it'd fit in a container. Pretty easy. The bed is just bolted on like that all the way down. So you wouldn't be hacking it or anything. It's not welded. They actually did a good job putting this bed on here. And I think the lights, you just unplug the harness or cut it at the very, very end so you have something to work with later. But yeah, I figured I would add that. Maybe help someone out. Another thing too is these windows, I don't think I mentioned it, might have, but they do roll up and down. It's a warm day, so that's why they're down. So anyway, let's go take it for a drive. No power steering, never had it. And the brakes don't work.
So what doesn't work?
The brakes. I'll drop you off halfway.
Trust in this thing.
I have more trust in the last couple Chevrolets I had. You know what I noticed? I thought was neat?
What?
It's got these, I guess the shoulder belts instead of lap belt. I don't know if that's an English thing or if we had them in the same year. I don't remember. Like I did with the first time I took it on the road, and we'll go down here.
Okay. This thing doesn't have a radio?
Radio delete.
Oh.
Never had one, I guess. It's like a twin stick. Well, guys, hope you liked it. It does drive better when you fix the throttle cable and drive like you guys were saying. Shift it on the governor and drive it hard. Because once it gets wound up, it does pull pretty good. I think the most impressive thing on this truck is the tires. Like I said, I don't know how old they are or anything like that, but on one run we got it up to about 55, I think, second time around. And they held in there. The rear main started dripping a little, but that is what it is. I think these are the ones with the tubes in them. They were new when I put them on. That was like 10 years ago. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed driving it. And I guess if it doesn't sell, we'll just continue on it a little bit at a time. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll catch you next time.